Okay, you and my theory is this. Everybody's got recency bias. Whatever happens today is the worst thing in the world. Nobody's got context. You and I are not in our 20s or 30s. The steroid scandal lasted 15 years. You thought it was over, and they had a Mitchell report. It never ended. It shattered records, which are sacrosanct in baseball. It changed series. Losers became winners. The Yankees won 5 titles, the Red Sox 2, and you couldn't get the Texas Rangers out for 15 years because these teams that had the sluggers, the really talented guys, you couldn't play small ball. There was one way to win. Get roid guys. That was it. Baseball now cleaned up the roids, and the Giants won 3 titles playing small ball and situational baseball. The Royals won a title off their bullpen. There's many ways now to win in baseball. You think the Astros cheating is even worse?
I do, because I think it just it touched a lot of people, Colin. It's not just about the Astros themselves and the teams that maybe got hurt along the way. It's about workers who maybe feel like they got cheated out of maybe making money on World Series games that they would have had at Yankee Stadium. Those guys didn't get paid. Those money that they expected didn't happen. The workers. How about the fans? If you're an Astros fan, right, and this was your moment, you were a fan your whole life, they finally win, and they even take that away from you. Like, I can't even taunt another baseball fan and say, well, my team won, because they would be like, yeah, but they cheated, so it's tainted. Even the Astro fans feel that way. And then from even the other part that I think is the most surprising is I think the commissioner thought, I don't want to take on the union, right? So this was organizational cheating.
Yes.
So we're going to go after the people who are in charge who allowed this to happen.
I agree. That's what you should do.
Right. You have to. But the other part is they never thought that the same union that's been together through thick and thin, that walked out on the World Series in 1994. Remember that. That never stopped the World Series. That did that would attack their own brethren. The attacks on the Astros is unbelievable.
But people during the steroid era were ripping guys. A-Rod took a lot of heat.
Not like this, Colin. This is unprecedented.
But you know what's going to happen? You think, obviously, the Astros are going to get booed everywhere. What do you think is going to happen when they play at home?
I think I'm one of the few who believe this. And a lot of people are pushing back saying, oh, they're going to support their own. I think there are going to be some people who are baseball fans, who are Astros fans, who will be mad that this went on and took away some of their joy.
And they'll boo them.
And I think they will get booed even at home. Not as bad as it'll be around the country.
Okay, so you and I are going to have a bet.
All right.
Because I think we live in an age of affirmation, not information. Conservatives watch Fox. Liberals watch MSNBC. Nobody wants new information. People dig themselves in. They're entrenched. They're embedded in a cause. Astro fans will watch the Astros get booed, and they'll feel a sense of, hey, these guys are cheaters, but there are cheaters. And they'll get standing ovations.
I don't think they will. I think there'll be boos in the crowd. And not just from opposing fans, who might be there, but some of the people who honestly look at them and say, we were duped. You duped us. We thought this stripped down the whole organization, built from the minor leagues, right? Build up your own players and turned in with the analytics that the Astros were supposed to be the model. They duped Major League Baseball. What is Derek Jeter doing in Miami right now? He stripped down the Marlins to build it up off the model of the Astros. Did he know that they were cheating and had the pitchers coming in? Do you see what I'm saying?
I do, but I still think, I want to segue out of this. I still think steroids was a 15-year canker sore for the sport. I think this will be over very quickly after a few guys get thrown at by the Houston Astros. Let me segue to this. 2 things I want to touch on. Number 1, Tom Brady to the Raiders. Going to get offered $60 million, $30 million each year. Do you buy it? What do you make of it?
Well, that would be a perfect place for him to end up his career in Las Vegas, where old musicians wound up going. He could share up maybe a dressing room with Wayne Newton.
And Barry
Manilow. And Neil Diamond. That would be perfect for Tom Brady. Plus, they have all the senior citizens dinners, right? He could have dinner at 4 o'clock. It would fit him great in Vegas.
Okay. Second issue, that was kind of snarky. Second issue is LeBron is my athlete of the decade. Floyd Mayweather, who was mostly inactive for the last 5 years of the decade, fought old Manny Pacquiao and a UFC guy. Floyd's not in my top 10, not in my top 12. What do you make of LeBron? Are you okay with LeBron being the athlete of the decade?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think Floyd is way off base. In fact, I got a better title. You want to take a look at this?
Okay.
I got a better. Floyd should be the baker of the decade because he had so many cupcakes, he probably should have a toothache. I mean, come on, Colin, you're right. Who did he fight?
Nobody. A UFC guy and an old. He ducked really good fighters in their prime.
That's what I'm saying. So Floyd can go ahead and make that claim, but I'm not buying it.
You know, when the NBA just had their All-Star weekend, and, you know, I'm interested in this. So you are more of a fan than I am. I always consider myself sort of a judge. The fans are the jury. I want to be impartial. You yell and scream, and I'll make the decision on what lands and what doesn't. You are more of a fan. I think the NBA, I think we overstate load management. I think one guy's really doing it. I don't need my stars to play 82. Play 75. George Brett, my favorite baseball player, missed 30 games a year. I'm okay. LeBron plays 74, 75. Miss a couple road games, I'm good. I think load management's overstated. I think the lack of parity's overstated. You and I are old enough to remember the only decade with real parity in the NBA, the 70s, and nobody watched it.
Yeah, but you got to admit, there were other things going on in the 70s. That was considered a drug league. You remember that? There were scandals. And I do believe, I get it. I'm not saying that players can't take a day off every so often.
Yeah.
But I think what has happened is tickets back in the 70s and 80s were $40 to go to an NBA game. Colin, if you have children, if it's your son, he wants to go to see LeBron James for the first time in person, and you buy tickets for his birthday or Christmas, and then he's not hurt, he's just taken off. And you got to remember, that gotten out of control a couple of years ago when the television network started to push back, right? They did Saturday night on ABC, and all these guys. It wasn't just LeBron and Steph, and all of a sudden KD and all these guys are just taking days off. And I think that's where fans got a little worked up about it. I'm paying my hard-earned money. If you give me a load management escape clause and I can get my $400 back, take all the days off. But I don't think it's right to ask people to pay top dollar, and then I can't see if you go to a Broadway show and the star of the show is not performing, I either want my money back or tickets for a day that he's there. I'm not there to see the understudy. I'm just not.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
Not fair?
Well, it is. I think
it's not as bad now as it was, I'm saying, a couple of years ago.
I think Kawhi is a load management. I think if you look at the stars in this league, LeBron plays almost every night. Giannis does. James Harden does.
No, I agree with you.
Westbrook.
Now it does. Now they do, because the commissioner had to say something. It was getting out of control.
Yeah, no, I think the danger in the NBA, it's always been controlled by labor. It's the only sports league in America where generally I don't believe companies should be run by employees. I think you should have capital, ownership, management. You have hierarchies. I don't think I should be running Fox Sports. I mean, that of course I would favor my show and give us more of a budget. I think.
And you would cancel The Odd Couple on the radio, right?
I probably would just get rid of it. It's too good, and it's taking audience from me. Rob Parker, a Hall of Fame baseball voter. Good seeing you. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd, or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.